So good afternoon. Good afternoon to today's current affairs session. So we shall discuss some of the topics, some of the narratives issues that has happened in the last 1 week. Hope my voice is audible. Good afternoon, Isha, and everyone who has joined now. Yes. Let me know if there is any trouble with audio or video. Maybe there is a network trouble here where I sit. So, okay. So even if there's an outage or if I drop out from the meeting, just wait for a while, I would join. Okay. Yes. So we shall start from the polity topic. So we had a news regarding an Article 329B of the Constitution, and it is of course related to election commission. And all these days, I've told you from past 3 weeks, we eventually started with history and geography topics because media was overwhelmed, or newspaper was overwhelmed with most of election related narratives or controversies or comments and all that. But as we are approaching the most awaited election results, there was an NGO, civil society organization, filed a petition in the Supreme Court asking the percentage of the voters, or the what we call as voter turnout numbers, right? They had asked for it, and we are going to see in this article what was Supreme Court's response to it, and court bring up the topic, or what is this 329B, which was invoked by Election Commission, wherein it shows whether the Supreme Court can play any role in knowing the voter turnout numbers, right? So now let's get into the highlights first, then I'll explain to you eventually, right? So the Supreme Court delayed a request from the Association for Democratic Reforms. Association for Democratic Reforms is the name of an NGO, asking the Election Commission to publish voter turnout numbers. So they filed a request, or they requested the Election Commission, and also asked the Supreme Court to intervene here, wherein they wanted the voter turnout numbers. Voter turnout number refers to the percentage of the voters, or the percentage where the voting took place, and how many voters have been registered voters have taken part in the election. That is the idea here. So now the Supreme Court has not denied, but it has delayed, it said. The news says the Supreme Court has delayed. And here, on what basis did they delay? They refer to Article 329B of the Constitution, which stops the courts from getting involved during election. During election, Supreme Court is not supposed to intervene in the sense through the entire process, where the election voting begins till the result. Unnecessary interrogation or intervention is not possible. There is a provision in the article in the Constitution which says it cannot intervene. This is actually in a way which is logical, wherein if Election Commission is a constitutional body, right, and if there is a constant intervention of the Supreme Court, the very functioning of the Election Commission can be affected. So maybe that is the reason our constitutional founders have brought in this article, so that the Election Commission, let it work on its own, especially during the election time. That is what the article's crux all about. So how does it matter for us for exam? So you have to anyway look into the process or the chapter of election, because this year it is the election year itself. So anyway, in one or the other way, maybe in the upcoming prelims also, there will be a question on election related reforms, or maybe basic or static question on election itself. That is, we have even foreseen in the previous year also, because upcoming year, it was the election year, this 2024. Definitely there will be a question on this, directly or indirectly, that is for sure. But as for the reason where we have this article mentioned in the news, for the sake of it, we are knowing about it, but your real learning should be about Election Commission. Okay, static part of the Election Commission, and maybe any other cases related to this, right? So hope you got the highlights. The news is regarding one NGO asked about certain information wherein from the Election Commission, and the Supreme Court says that we cannot help you in this in any way because there is a clause, there is a provision in the Constitution which says that Supreme Court cannot intervene in the election process. This is the crux. Let us understand elaborately with the key points now. So Article 329B is a part of our Constitution's electoral rules found alongside other articles about elections. Can you mention the article which is related to Election Commission or the elections itself or election commissioners? This is 329B. Which article speaks about specifically about elections in India in the Constitution? Very good. 324, right? So 324 speaks of election, and rest all in that chapter we have various rules, regulations, or electoral rules, what we call. This is one of the article we are speaking about today. Okay, so it says courts can't interfere in elections unless it's through a specific legal complaint called an election petition. Again, there is no absolute what do you call as stoppage for the Supreme Court not to intervene at all. That would again impinge the role of the Supreme Court. Alva, complete agi Supreme Court involve aguagilla anta andag enagutte, complete agi adanna aache ittagagutte. But there is a way to reach out Supreme Court, something called as election petition anno reethiyalli file ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, and it depends upon what information they are asking. Okay, so this rule was changed in 1966. Election petition anta ittu munche. This rule was changed in 1966. So now only election petitions can challenge election results. Andre ಮುಂಚೆ ಕೇಳಬಹುದಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಪೆಟಿಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಮಾಡುವುದಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಅದು ಆದ ನಂತರ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ವಿಷಯವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿರುವ ನಿರ್ಧಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರಶ್ನಿಸುವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೆ. The Representation of the People Act 1951 explains how high courts handle these petitions and the Supreme Court can review their decisions. Okay, adu alde Constitution alde 1951 Act allu saha ide hege high courts ee ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು petitions na handle ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, Supreme Court ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ review ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. So we need not get into detail with 1951 Act, but all we have to know is there is no interference of the Supreme Court in the electoral rules or especially the working of the Election Commission, especially during election. That is a summary here. Basically, the Supreme Court has said that 329B stops courts from interfering in any part of the election process until an election petition is filed. A election petition file ಮಾಡುವ ತನಕ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು petition ಬಂದ್ರು, ಕೇಸ್ ಬಂದ್ರು, ಅದು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. This is the crux of it. So what all we have to learn in this takeaway, or what are the takeaways from this particular topic is, we have to know the news first. Then apart from that, we have to know what is 329B in detail, because as you all said, Article 324 says that, Article 324 gives the poll panel powers to direct and control elections, and Article 329 uses two clauses. Okay, so Article 329A ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, judiciary is not allowed, 329A idu, judiciary is not allowed to challenge the constitutionality of the laws relating to the boundaries of the electoral districts. Athwa election commission ತಗೊಂಡಿರುವಂತ ನಿರ್ಧಾರದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಾಲಿಟಿ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರಶ್ನಿಸುವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ 329A ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು 329B ಇಂಟರ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ 329A ಮತ್ತು B ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. So there is no questioning about it and also interfering about it, A and B. Okay, so you might have to look into Article 324 for your revision part. That is very important. And even the Constitution, ಇದು 1966 na yadra ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, the Constitutional Amendment Act, 19th Amendment Act, want to take down 19th Act of 1966 refined this clause and said that election related inquiries are exclusively addressed through election petition. So idu word, technical word, namge election petition ಮೂಲಕ ಮಾತ್ರ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. So apart from that, did we have any such court verdicts before? ಅದು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಮತ್ತು ಈ ADR ದು, ಈ NGO ದು ಬೇರೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ. as we have seen it here, this Association for Democratic Reforms, one voter turnout numbers scaled. It also asked the EC to evolve an efficient, transparent, rational, robust procedure. Adu ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ request ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು before the hearing in the case, Election Commission Wednesday has filed an affidavit opposing ADR's request. ಈಗ Election Commission ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ Supreme Court ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ NGO. So Election Commission ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಒಂದು affidavit file ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು we cannot disclose this information ಅಂತ ಆಗಿದೆ. This is a very simple thing, simple news. ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ರೀಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಏನೇ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಈ NGO ಈ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳುವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಒಂದು ಸಮ್ಮರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್. ಗೆಟ್, as I told you, it is all about elections as of now when it comes to polity news. So we are taking this as a part of it. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ certain RTI ಬಂದಾಗ there is what you call as there is a clause under RTI also wherein such certain informations are confidential or certain information are not for the public disclosure anta barutte, athwa classified information anta bandubidutte. Maybe see RTI alli ellanu they will not ellanu disclose ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೆ RTI alli ellanu restriction ಇಲ್ಲ. even if ask specific details, ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು information ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ ಅಂದಾಗ selective information ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. What is been under the law where EC is not ready to give, it has the right not to give. RTI is not an act wherein you can ask any information and they can give you anything or any entities. That is not RTI, the crux of RTI. RTI has a clause or a provision called as something called as classified information. So if it comes under classified information and moreover it has its constitutionality, then it has the right to deny. Getting it? So that is the way. So that is why they would have gone for RTI. So that is the reason they have filed a petition. And there is one more way, is electoral petition anta ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Other it is dependent upon EC to decide whether they give it or not. But here what they have done is EC 329B na invoke ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. Maybe they could have given, but constitution ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇದಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನ invoke ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, Supreme Court cannot do anything. It restricts the judicial intervention in whole process. Okay, so there are many cases in previous times also. This is not the first time. Many people have filed a complaint or in the previous years, in 1990s or maybe 1985, so against Election Commission. So excluding whether in role preparation, electoral role preparation ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪೆನಾಲ್ಟೀಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟೋರಲ್ ಏನು ಪೆಟಿಷನ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. EC, if it is careful enough to bring this 329B, then there it stops the role of the Supreme Court. Okay, so this is the crux of this news. So just reminding you, Article 324 ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಥವಾ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ನ ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಸರ್. Okay, that is the static part. We know that obviously in polity we see the current affairs, they are static part. So this is the relation there. Okay, so we have in art and culture, we are moving on to the next topic, that is Hampi Virupaksha temple was recently in news. That is because of heavy rain last week, the pavilion at Hampi Virupaksha temple collapsed. ಏನು ನಾವು ಸಾಲು ಮಂಟಪ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಅದು ಕೊಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇದನ್ನ ರೆಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ASI did not take its own initiative. It has given a promise that we will start restoring this collapsed salu mandapa or pavilion of the Hampi. We know that it is a UNESCO heritage site, and this response has come from ASI because it faced criticism from conservationists, activists after the pavilion consisting of the 3 sections of the line pillars collapsed due to heavy rains. Because adondu UNESCO World Heritage Site, and also it comes under ASI. So ASI did not take any measures after criticism has decided. This is a simple news. For art and culture, we are just looking into, maybe you have to revise your static part, Vijayanagara Empire, or maybe art and culture, the architectural aspects of this temple, Hampi. It's a very prominent and popular. It is helpful for your KPSC or both UPSC also. There are questions asked on Vijayanagara Empire. maybe a part of art and culture. There is a possibility, not lately, I mean, upcoming exam. Maybe Vijayanagar Empire itself is a very important topic from history part. Okay. So, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಹಿಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್. ಐ ಕೀಪ್ ಟೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್, ಐ ಕೀಪ್ ರಿಮೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಯು, ಇಸ್ ಅ ಹಿಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್ ವೆರ್ ಇನ್ ಓಕೆ this is the topic, it is in news, let me go back and do this. So your static part is done. Art and architecture of Vijayanagar Empire, that is the topic, right? Or Vijayanagar Empire. So some basic details. Anyway, in order to revise it, let's look into some key points about this temple. Okay. So Virupaksha temple is a 7th century Shiva temple located in Hampi in central Karnataka. So main deity is Lord Virupaksha, also known as Pampapati, worshipped as the primary deity here, Virupaksha. So architectural style bagene jaasti keltare. Constructed in the Vijayanagar style of architecture, characterized by intricate carvings and towering gopurams. So the one who built this Virupaksha temple was Lakandandesha Nayaka, serving under ruler Devaraya II. So yara time alli ಈ ವಿರೂಪಾಕ್ಷ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ ದೇವರಾಯ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವಿಜಯನಗರ ಎಂಪೈರ್, he commissioned this temple construction. The builder was one of the Nayaka, who was the what do you call as vassal or the subordinate of this ruler, that is Lakandandesha. It is specifically asked, ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಿಲ್ಡರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರ್ದು ರೀನ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಯಾರ್ದು ರೂಲ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಇದಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ. Apart from that, we know that we have, other than Virupaksha temple, ಈಗ ಹಜಾರ ರಾಮ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ದ ಚಾರಿಯಟ್, ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಚಾರಿಯಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. The news is given regarding Virupaksha temple, but you also have to focus on the other architectural aspect of the Hampi. News is simple: collapsed temple yet to be restored, and you have to learn about Vijayanagara Empire. ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಫೇರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, whether it is magazines, whether you are reading it, you are making notes, no matter what, we go for the bulky news or too much, lot of news, lot of information about it. It is required. I'm not denying it is not required, but we fail to pick up, we fail to selectively read the most important ones. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು ಅದು ಏನು ಮೇನ್ ವಿಷಯ ಏನು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಉಳಿದಿರುವಂತದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಪಾಲಿಟಿ ಮತ್ತು ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿವಿಸಿಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ರು. Okay. So that is what maybe their contribution or their opponents during that period of time, or maybe their contemporaries during Vijayanagar Empire. All this matters together. Okay, the simple news, again a hint for you to read it again. So moving on, again one more art and culture, art and architecture. Rock carvings were recently found in Goa's one of the villages. Illunu ASI role ide. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ರಾಕ್ ಕಾರ್ವಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಈಗ ಇಡೀ ವರ್ಷ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರಾಕ್ ಕಾರ್ವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ತು, ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಥವಾ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದು ಯಾವ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಗೆ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಮೋರ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್, ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರಾಕ್ ಕಾರ್ವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ರಾಕ್ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ದ ಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎನಿವೇ ವಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನೋ ದಟ್ this is also very important topic. ಇಡೀ ವಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ, there can be n number of, ನೀವು ಓದಿರ್ತೀರ, ಇದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಬೇರೆ ಓದಿರ್ತೀರ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್. But why I selectively take this, because is it related to exam? If this pattern in this way is it asked, that's what matters to us. Okay, so it is a supplement for you how you prepare. The news is regarding Moxie ಅಥವಾ Moss village in Sattari Taluka is a Neolithic discovery hub. ಅಂದ್ರೆ in short, ಗೋವಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ವಿಲೇಜ್, ಮಾಕ್ಸಿ ವಿಲೇಜ್ ಅಂತ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ASI ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ನಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್ ಕಾರ್ವಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಏನ್ಷಿಯಂಟ್ ರಾಕ್ ಕಾರ್ವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಏನ್ಷಿಯಂಟ್ ರಾಕ್ ಕಾರ್ವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ಡ್ 2 decades ago ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ಝಾರ್ಮಿ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಡ್ರೈ ರಿವರ್ ಬೆಡ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಪುನಃ 20 years ago ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ನಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಅದನ್ನ ಈಗ ಲೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅದು ಯಾವ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್ ಅಂತ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ 3 ಮೇನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಪೇಲಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್, ಮಿಸೋಲಿಥಿಕ್, ನಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್. ಸೊ ನಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ಲೇಟರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್, ದ ನ್ಯೂ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಏಜ್ ವಿ ಸೇ. ನಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್, ನಿಯೋ ಇಸ್ ನ್ಯೂ, ಲಿಥ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಟೋನ್. ಸೊ ನ್ಯೂ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಏಜ್ ಗೆ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ರಾಕ್ ಕಾರ್ವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇದು. You have to know the difference and especially the time period. The time period alla nimge central government exams, other central government exams alli kelbodu direct question or maybe state level exams, but UPSC applicability keltare, application based question. There is a statement given, Neolithic, Paleolithic, they will combine this and they might answer the question. So basic timeline gottidre nimge, you can logically arrive at the right answer. Okay. So carvings etched into meta-basalt rock indicating Neolithic origins. Iga meta-basalt rock anta andaga, where do we connect it to? This is in Goa. So we know it is in Deccan Plateau. Deccan Plateau, basaltic rock. So we connect like that also. You can connect it to geography as well. Neolithic origin. So yaudrinda ನಾವು Neolithic origin ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ, it is because of the meta-basalt rock. ಆ rock ದು ಏಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ಏಜ್ ದು carving ಇದು ಅಂತ. So confirmation by Archaeological Survey of India solidifies Neolithic attribution. So ಇದು Neolithic ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಾಯ್ತು. Now the next thing is, we know the place ಗೋವಾದಲ್ಲಿ, it is a Neolithic carving. What is it written? We do not know, but we should be knowing ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಯಾವ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಪೆಲಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಮೇ ಬಿ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಟೈಮ್ ಲೈನ್. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ದ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಡ್ರಾನ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾರ್ವ್ಡ್, ಆ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಎವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅದ್ರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಪೆಲಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್, ಮೆಸೋಲಿಥಿಕ್. ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು. ಸಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫೈ ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ ಫಾಸಿಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಫಾಸಿಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ. ಬಟ್ ರಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ ನಾನ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಫಾರ್ ದ ನಾನ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಫಾಸಿಲ್ಸ್, if at all they are found, it is very easy. But if we have this non living components like rocks, carbon dating will not work. I'll give you an example why. ಈಗ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು big controversy or big in news was this Gyanvapi mosque ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಶಿವಲಿಂಗ ಇನ್ ಗ್ಯಾನ್ವಾಪಿ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಯು ಮೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ heard about it or you might have come across. So people petitioned against, saying that this belong to religions, that this belong to us and this belong to us because Shivalinga is there and everything was there, understood. But ಅದನ್ನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಳೇದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಇತ್ತ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಇತ್ತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. So there was a petition filed, let's go for carbon dating ಅಂತ. But carbon dating is a scientific method wherein we can understand the age of that fossil if at all it is an organic matter. Carbon andre enu? It is found in organic matter, living, which has been, which lived, which has died, and we can take that ಈ ಪಳೆ ಹುಳುಕಿಗಳು ತಗೊಂಡು ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಳೇದು ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಜೊತೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಫಾಸಿಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಯು ದಿಸ್. So that is why that was ruled out. I have not followed the radiometric dating accepted. Radiometric dating, carbon dating namge fossil alli use agutte. Good. Radiometric dating methods used to detect the age of the rock. That is understood. Okay, ಒಂದು good that you bought this inputs. ಒಂದು ನಾವು radiometric dating ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲಿ ಇದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು, ಯಾವ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದ್ರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಲುಕ್ ಇನ್ ಟು 3 periods or upper Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic to Chalcolithic period, wherein ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆರ್ಟ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಡಿಪಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಲರ್ನ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನೀವು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೋಗಿ ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಸಮ್ ಹೌ link some terms, link some examples and learn it here. Okay, so prehistoric art periods in India. Upper Paleolithic period alli earliest paintings, we know that Bhimbedka and Jwalapuram. Where is Bhimbedka caves? Bhimbedka, Madhya Pradesh, right? So ee Madhya Pradesh alli iruvanta caves namige yavudr bagge mahiti kodutte? Upper Paleolithic period, Madhya Pradesh. Yes, so earliest paintings found at sites like Bhimbedka and Jwalapuram, they belong to Paleolithic. Athava questions ee riti, Paleolithic period, one of the places in India. I have put up some examples here, some of the places. So adana match the pairs kodabodu, athwa examples for Paleolithic period is so and so can be given. So idana kaltkonbidi, which are the other examples. Okay, adana ನೀವು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು, ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಡಿಪಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಪೇಲಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂತೀವಿ. Depictions include linear representations of animals like bison, elephants, tigers, alongside stick-like human figures. Okay, ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಾಮನ್. ಈ Paleolithic ಅಲ್ಲಿ stick-like human figures are quite common along with the other animals. Linear representation ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೈಡ್ ಬೈ ಸೈಡ್ ಈ ತರ linear representation ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ Paleolithic period ಅಂತಾನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡ್ಕೊಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. ಆರ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿ. Okay, this is upper Paleolithic. Mesolithic period, that is major sites include Pachmari and Adamgarh. Pachmari is also in Madhya Pradesh. Pachmadi or Pachmari, Pachmadi basically the pronunciation is, and Adamgarh hills. We'll go through the map. First we'll read out this. Okay, so paintings predominantly depict human scenes of hunting and community dances. Look at this. So over a period of time, community was formed. Paleolithic compare ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮೆಸೋಲಿಥಿಕಲಿ ಹಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತು ಮತ್ತು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಅದರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಮೆಸೋಲಿಥಿಕ್ ಅಂತಾನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಹಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಸೀನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ. So this is also learning for you. In future, if you find any news regarding this, looking at the depictions even before reading the news, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅದು ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಪೇಲಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್ ಮೆಸೋಲಿಥಿಕ್ ಅಂತ. Okay. Good. Thanks for adding. First domestication of animals found in Adamgarh. That is our Adamgarh, however you pronounce it. So that is one example, very good example. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ domestication ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗನೇ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ Mesolithic ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, they started settling down. Agriculture ಇತ್ತು, agriculture ಇದ್ರೇನೆ domestication ಇರಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಅಲ್ವಾ, so community ಇರಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. That we can understand looking at Mesolithic. So animals are painted in a naturalistic style while humans are depicted stylistically. So no longer stick-like human figures. Stick figures. So humans are depicted in a different way, maybe adding more components or attributions, accessories, so that it looks like humans and animals. Naturalistic, ಆದಷ್ಟು naturalistic ಆಗಿ, not like cartoon, naturalistic ಆಗಿ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಕಾರ್ವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ Mesolithic ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ Neolithic ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ notable sites include the Chambal region and Daimabad in Maharashtra. ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಚಾಲ್ಕೋಲಿಥಿಕ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾಲ್ಕೋಲಿಥಿಕ್? Chalcolithic period means what? Use of, can we say use of metals, copper, tools, right? So notable sites include Chambal region, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh region, and Daimabad in Maharashtra. ಈ ಜಾಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. And rock paintings depict pottery and metal tools. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿತ್ತು agriculture, hunting ಎಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತು. Then art forms, metal tools, use of tools was very prominent in Neolithic and Chalcolithic. Predominant colors of white and red, possibly from grinding hematite and limestone. So more involvement in exploring various metals and minerals. That is evidently seen. Men portrayed as adventurous with animals appearing youthful and majestic. So over a period of time, drawings, the drawings were refined, more refined, and more naturalistic, more appealing, or more evident that what kind of living, what kind of style of living they had during that era was evident. So ಈಗ ನಾವು ವಾಪಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ದೈಮಾಬಾದ್ ಇನ್ ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಚಂಬಾಲ್ ರೀಜನ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಗೋವಾ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಗೋವಾ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ನಿಯೋಲಿಥಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸೇಮ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ನ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ we have come to a conclusion that this is Neolithic or Chalcolithic period. Okay, so let's have a brief look at various places where we can expect these carvings, paintings, rock paintings and all that. So main areas of rock paintings, ನಿಮಗೆ light shaded gray ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. So let me just show it. Predominantly we can see here in Madhya Pradesh, right here Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra region. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ರಾಕ್ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಪೆಟ್ರೋಗ್ಲಿಫ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? What is petroglyph? Petro is also rock, glyph is also art drawn on rock. Painting ಬೇರೆ, glyph is like carving or writing or maybe some words written. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ನಾರ್ತ್ ಟು ಸೌತ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ನಾರ್ತ್ ಟು ಸೌತ್, ಫ್ರಮ್ ಜಮ್ಮು ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ್ ಟು Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. We have as far as Assam also. Assam, Manipur, Mizoram, northeast. Petro andre stone, glyph andre etching on it or scratching or maybe writing on the stone. Petroglyph. Okay. So main areas of both petroglyphs and rock paintings, you can see mostly it is concentrated in Madhya Pradesh region. Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Rajasthan, okay. So Pleistocene art, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ Rajasthan, again in Madhya Pradesh, in Karnataka, in some places. Pleistocene is an era or epoch where such kind of art we can see, which is again old age. And these are the other place names. When you receive the notes, you can go through it. But this map is not so prominent. I would ask you to learn about various rock paintings or rocks or caves. ಅದೊಂದು ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಪ್ರಿಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮೇಜರ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲರ್ ಈಗ ಬರಾಬರ್ ಕೇವ್ಸ್, ಬಿಂಬೆಟ್ಕಾ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಉದಯಗಿರಿ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಒಡಿಶಾ ಲೈಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಆ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಹೆಸರು ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಥಳಗಳು ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಎಸ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್. ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್, ವಿ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇದು ನೀವು ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿ, ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಪಾಲಿಟಿನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. Everything is included here. Let's look into this. Now, Supreme Court holds 90-acre CA notes. Okay. When was the last notes you have received? We'll discuss about it. Okay. In break, you just tell me the details about it. Just immediately mention. I have been sending maybe last on the Kalsila bitre baki ellanu nanu have shared, I think. Anyway. So Supreme Court holds 90-acre project in Kumaon Himalayas on a plea challenging single window clearance. This is quite intriguing, related to the recent Uttarakhand forest blaze. Forest fire aitalo Uttarakhand alli last few days back. Just a PDF ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರೋದು. We'll see. Hope you can also communicate with them, or let me see what I can do about it. Okay. Ben's order comes at a time when Uttarakhand is gasping from the after effects of killer forest blazes and denuded. Uttarakhand is forest fire. Right. To green cover we have this great depend ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ Nepal, Himalaya. Remember, you have to connect with Uttarakhand. Okay. Uttarakhand, Himalaya. Is audible and visible? So I'm in Guwahati. I'm in Assam. Actually, here it is heavily raining. That's the reason I told you there can be out is stopped, but this is on and off of the network and power and all that. That's the reason. So in between, if it goes, just panic. Just wait for a few seconds. I'll just reconnect. Okay. Yes. So we were talking about. Hello, madam. It is like here tremors are also there. Earthquake, Myanmar earthquake after that we can feel the tremors here. So from past 2 days, that is also happening. So some trouble with the network also. So this decision, as I've told you, Supreme Court halt ಮಾಡಿದೆ. This decision challenges single window clearances intended to speed up development in the ecologically fragile and seismic prone over Himalaya regions. ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ವಿಂಡೋ ಕ್ಲಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು EIA, ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ we have to initiate or start, you have to get clearance to fragile assessment. After the assessment, government will give permission, what we call environmental clearance. If certain change one project depend upon the project, I'll have to now try 1 minute just to try. Not audible even now also. I thought maybe if I switch off the video that could help. Okay. If there is any trouble with the video or audio, immediately let me know. Thank you so much. Maybe audio would be fine. You can see the PPT here. If you can't see me also, audio should be fine. So as I was telling, okay, let me explain this EIA for you first. Now EIA is a concept. Environmental impact assessment is a concept wherein there are projects that are classified into A and B, A and project. So ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಈ process ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. Now I cannot go to the EIA concept itself. It is a static part we have learned in the class, or we are going to learn in the class who are new to this I mean what you call as preparation. So EIA is, I'll just brief it up. EIA ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ assessment of the projects whether it is affecting the environment or not. ಸೊ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಹಾಗೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಎ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಬಿ ಅಂತ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಎ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಅದೊಂದು ಮೇ ಬಿ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಮೇ ಬಿ ರೋಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಪವರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್. So they need an assessment. If there is any flaw or limitation that would affect the environment, the government cannot or need not give the environmental clearance. So a project nadiyalla, a developer gagli, a builder gagli, a permission sigalla, they will not. When it comes to project B, adrallu B ನಮಗೆ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಅ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ದಿಸ್ 90-acre ಹೋಟೆಲ್ and township project might have come under B2. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಸಿಕ್ಕಿ not audible. Give me a few seconds. Let me change the network so that it works. It can be a trouble with this class. I'm trying to connect. Let's try now. Hope it is clear. I believe now it is okay. So, ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ವಿಂಡೋ ಕ್ಲಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ B2 ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಈ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ಗೆ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹಾಲ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿ. Geographically, we have to look into Kumaon Himalayas, its position, its location, and its importance. Ecologically, we should understand what is the single window clearance, right? Forest fire. Okay. What is the importance of EIA? Though we are still focusing on notification, EIA notification, yavudiga sadyakide anta andre namge now 2006 ne follow ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Environmental impact assessment notification 2006 ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು follow ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. But 2020 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ನೋಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ತಂದ್ರು, which has been rolled out, but people have not accepted it. ಅದನ್ನ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇನ್ನು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. 2006 ನೋಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ನಾವು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುವಂತ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್. ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ EC or single window clearance. Not much of a hassle, not much of a procedure. You go and give all the details about your project. Government will give you permission. The petitions have filed a complaint against this or filed a case against this. So if we keep on allowing such projects, resorts and hotels in such a vulnerable, fragile ecosystem, in Kumaon Himalayas, in Uttarakhand, even in Himachal Pradesh also, same thing happens. We know that, right? From past few years, we are witnessing floods, we are witnessing landslides, we are witnessing trouble of water crisis, forest fires now last year, recently. So many issues are happening. Now the citizens are questioning, why is it happening? Excess tourism, more projects, more infrastructure. Because Himalaya, as we know, as we have learned, it is a young fold mountain. Himalaya is a young fold mountain, still growing mountain. It is more fragile, and it is located in the earthquake prone zone, earthquake prone area. Apart from that, illi namge forest fire issue agirbodu, increase in temperature, because coniferous forest we have there. But apart from that, it is totally fragile. In such places, if you build, what will happen? That is the question. Okay, this is the issue here, and I told you about the environmental clearance. Now Supreme Court has halted it. We are yet to see what would happen in the future. But our importance will go to, before we go to geographical aspect, let us see petitioner argument ಏನಿದೆ, ಯಾರು ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕೇಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ. Okay, the petitioner has argued that he has questioned that if precautionary steps to protect a fragile ecozone can be ignored due to a single window clearance. Just ಕ್ಲಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಈಕೋಝೋನ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಫ್ರೆಜೈಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಗ್ನೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರ ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತ ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನರಿ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಒಂದು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, highlighted the project's location in an ecologically sensitive seismic zone of the Kumaon Himalayas, about 6,700 feet mean sea level. MSL here refers to mean sea level. ಇಷ್ಟು ಎಲಿವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದು ಎಕಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಸೆನ್ಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೈಸ್ಮಿಕ್ ಝೋನ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅವರ ಸಿಸ್ಮಿಕ್ ಝೋನ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು earthquake prone area. So this is the argument. Should not allow that hotel. Maybe personal rivalry irbodu, ಅಥವಾ that this person or this entity is related to or or concerned about ecological aspects. No matter what, the reality has to be accepted, which is true. The argument which is true. So request ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ sought to halt commercial projects in the state without required legal permission. ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ commercial projects ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ halt ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದು. Okay, request then called for a comprehensive EIA before project commencement. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಡಿ. EIA ಆಗಬೇಕು, assessment ಆಗಬೇಕು. If there is any trouble to the ecosystem or ecozone, then permission should not be given. This is a common thing. This is just an example for you to actually use in your EIA answers if they give, because EIA concept namge environmental impact assessment concept mains exclusive topical. They ask only in mains, not in prelims. Okay, yet when you write answer, you can use these examples in your answers. Right, recent Uttarakhand, so there's a petition likewise. So all the commercial establishments should be halted. So the learning from this topic is focus on EIA for your mains, not for your prelims, and choose this as an example. We are connecting the forest fire and the permission is given to a hotel. Now there is a petition filed. Supreme Court has halted the construction or any development process over there, and also there is a petition request that EIA has to be conducted. So this is the takeaway. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಕಾಲಜಿ ಮತ್ತು ಲೀಗಲ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡೋಣ. ಬಟ್ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿಗೆ ನಾವೇನು ಓದಬೇಕು? Geography perspective ಇಂದ ಏನು ಓದಬೇಕು? We have to know about the Himalayan region itself. This is from the geographical perspective. So one topic, one news will be having various perspectives: legal, ecological. Now we are moving into geographical aspects. So Kumaon Himalayas matra alla, we will have a look at it of all the maps. Before that, we will know the detail about the Kumaon Himalayas ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Kumaon Himalayas are part of Himalayas, which is the West Central Himalayan region. West Central Himalayan regional, but the west part central, that is Uttarakhand. Okay, location North India. Just making more precise, that's all. Geographical boundaries same with it. It is located between Sutlej River in the west, Kali River in the east. We are talking about the Kali River of wherein we can see Nepal and Nepal Himalayan region. Kali River, this river we are talking about. Okay, Kali River in the east, which flows in Nepal and India. Remember, Sutlej River in the west. Then part of the Shivalik range, south, and Great Himalayas in the north. South alli idu Shivalik range ge attached agide, mattu north alli Great Himalayan, that is Himadri ge connect agide. Largely within the Uttarakhand, northwest of Nepal. Largely Kumaon Himalayas ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಮೇಜರ್ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಉತ್ತರಾಖಂಡ್. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪೀಕ್ ಯಾವುದು? ನಂದಾದೇವಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಮೆಟ್ ಎರಡು. ನಂದಾದೇವಿ ಇಸ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲರ್, ಯು ಮೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹರ್ಡ್. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈಗ ನಂದಾದೇವಿ ಬಯೋಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಇದೆ, ನಂದಾದೇವಿ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ಉತ್ತರಾಖಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು Kumaon Himalayas. Why we should be knowing about it? These days they give the description about the national parks. So they, instead of giving the highest peaks, they would give this particular national park is part of Kumaon Himalayas. Correct. Likewise, which are the various lakes? Naini Lake, that is Nainital we are talking about. Naini Lake, Sattal, Bhimtal, Naukuchia Tal. So Tal refers to lake here. So Nainital Lake is the most prominent tourist spot here. So we have it as a part of Himalayan region. And major hill stations are Nainital, Ranikhet, Almora. Almora is again famous for Swami Vivekananda. And tribal indigenous people are, that is also very important, Tharus, Bhutias, Jaunsaris, Buksas, and Rajis. Either Ishtralli, Tharu ಮತ್ತು Bhutia, they are prominently seen in news. Tharu. Okay, Tharus, I think they are also extended to Nepal region also. Tharus we can find in Nepal region also, not only Uttarakhand, which borders Nepal. So these are the prominent tribal people here. So ishtu information ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Mussoorie, what you are aiming at, part of Uttarakhand, Kumaon. Okay, Labasana. Yes. So let's have a look at it. ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಲುಕ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ನಾವೀಗ ಕುಮಾನ್ ಹಿಮಾಲಯಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾವ ರಿವರ್ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಸಿಚುವೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲಾನ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಂಜಾಬ್ ಹಿಮಾಲಯಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಟ್ಲೆಜ್, then Sutlej and Kali, that is Kumaon. Then we go to the next part, Nepal Himalayas between Kali and Kosi. one river adu innondu connect agutte nodi. Next Kosi and Teesta, Sikkim Himalayas, Teesta and Dihang. ನೀವು ಒಂದು river ನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ next it will continue. So you will geographically aware. Question ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು you can imagine this picture. So it starts from Indus, Satluj, Punjab. Next Uttarakhand barutte. Satluj and which is the next river? Kali. Nepal, Kali and Kosi. Sikkim, Kosi and Teesta. Assam, Teesta and Dihang. These Himalayas based on the names of the places, not range. Range alli ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಪುನಃ ನಮಗೆ Great Himalayas hatra we have Daskar, Ladakh, Pir Panjal, Shivalik, right? Daskar, Ladakh, Pir Panjal. So we have this in order. That is the range. These are the Himalayas named after the place itself. Like this also you should be learning. Okay. So the trouble is in Kumaon Himalayas, and here Uttarakhand is there. So illi it is seismic vulnerable zone. Not only this one also. The entire Himalayan region is seismic till Assam. Earthquake prone zone. Okay. So this basic awareness one should be having. As of now, actually the news is totally different, but we are just focusing more on this particular region from the geographical perspective. Hope you got the idea. Okay. This is the news. Then we will move on to governance or economics also. Economy also you can consider. Initiatives of RBI. So RBI has launched 3 major initiatives recently. Okay. That is Prava portal, retail direct mobile app, and fintech repository. ಈಗ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ app ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Question can be asked on certain basic terms. We will find those basic terms. I'll explain you that. Okay. So the news is regarding launching of the 3 initiatives: Prava portal, one app, and one more repository. So these 3 initiatives were earlier announced as a part of RBI's bi-monthly statement on development and regulatory policies in April 2023. April 24 and December 2023 respectively. ಬೇರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಮತ್ತು ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಈಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಅನ್ವೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Okay. So it has been launched. These 3 were launched. Now why are we concerned about this? What is it related to? On the next question. ಈ 3 ಪೋರ್ಟಲ್ ಅಥವಾ 3 ಆಪ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು RBI ಇದು ಅದೇನಂತ ನಾವು ನೋಡೋಣ. So hope no trouble with the audio right now. You can hear. Okay. So yes, Prava portal andre ಏನಂತ. So Prava portal a secure online platform for individuals and entities to apply for various regulatory approvals from RBI. Explain ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. Streamlining the process and improving efficiency. Okay. So this portal is an online platform for individuals and entities, both person and organization, for various regulatory approvals. Now we should understand what are regulatory approvals of RBI. ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು regulatory approvals ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ from RBI, streamlining the process and improving efficiency. ಒಂದು ಪೋರ್ಟಲ್ ನ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದೊಂದು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್. various regulatory approvals. Regulatory approval ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, let's say a commercial bank in India. I'm just explaining how regulatory approval works. A commercial bank in India wants to open a new branch in different city. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಷನ್, ಇಷ್ಟ ಬಂದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಷನ್. ದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಸೀಕ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಟರಿ ಅಪ್ರೂವಲ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಟರಿ ಅಪ್ರೂವಲ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ all the banks in India works under RBI, or it is monitored by RBI. So this regulatory approval works like this. So the bank would need to prepare a detailed application first. Application outlining its plans for the new branch, including its location, staffing service to be offered. Everything detail should be given. Yakandre approval beku alva. Then the bank would then submit this application for the RBI for the review. Then the RBI will assess the application. Ella details na review madida nantara, regulatory requirements madida nantara, first important is capital adequacy. Enough capital idya ee bank hatra. How is it working? The previous balance sheets and also the present capital adequacy ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ enough capital investment ಇದೆಯಾ ಅದರ ಹತ್ರ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತು does it works with anti money laundering ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ then once the RBI is satisfied then the bank's proposal will be accepted or rejected depending upon the reason. And in this example we can understand that what happens is RBI approval is essential for the bank to expand its operation. So ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು mechanism ಗೆ approval ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೆ all the time before it was like all manual and it is on records on books, but today we have a portal wherein the banks can directly ask for the approval from the RBI. ಇದೊಂದು example ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, hope it is understood. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರವಾ portal ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರವಾ has some acronym, it doesn't matter, don't worry about it, just remember. Next, retail direct mobile app ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ provides retail investors with convenient access to the retail direct platform enabling easy investment in government securities. Now we will come to the one more basic word, government securities. Usually ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಈ ಪೋರ್ಟಲ್ ಇದೆ ಆಪ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ, but this is where the questions are asked. Government securities ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು government securities ಅಂದ್ರೆ? Can anyone tell me where have you learned about this? ಈ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಆಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟೀಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕನ್ವೀನಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. But first we should know what are government securities. What are government securities? Anyone? Bonds. Okay. Any particular example? Bonds are government securities. Good. Very good. Treasury bills. Very good. How does it work? Treasury bills and bonds are government security. How does a government security work? G-Sex ಅಂತಾನೆ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, government securities ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So we call government securities are as instrument of understanding, IOU ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, instrument of understanding from the government to borrow money from people. ಈಗ now the government wants to raise a fund or investor, so it will allow these bonds or treasury bills, it allow for the access of the public. It announces, it publishes. Yes, please do ask. Okay. ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಎರಡು ಟ್ರೆಜರಿ ಬಿಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ನ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟೀಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಎರಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಿ. ಟಿ ಬಿಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟ್ರೆಜರಿ ಬಿಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಎರಡನ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ರೆಜರಿ ಬಿಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. State government bari bonds na matra issue ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. This is a fact you have to remember. Maybe in the statement they might give. Okay. So these bonds from the states are called as state development loans anta karithívi. I repeat, I'll just write it clearly here now. So government securities are classified into treasury bills and bonds. While central government can issue both treasury bills and bonds, state government can only issue bonds, and they are also called as state development loans. Ishtu basic. Ee point artha agbekanದ್ರೆ ishtu ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ವಾ? So these are also super safe because government ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಲ್ಲ. They are very super safe and government issues it wherein it guarantees to pay back the money. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವೀಗ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಟು ಅಥವಾ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ಟು ಹೌ ಡು ವಿ ಬಾರೋ ಲೋನ್, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ನ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಗೆ ಇಶ್ಯೂ, ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಮನಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಶೋರ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಪೇಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. Okay, so government is taking money or raising fund or investment from the public. ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಗೆ government securities ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, and moreover it is super safe when compared to any other bonds. Okay, so these are the two types of bonds or different types of government securities you should be know. Ishtu basic ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ರಿಟೇಲ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಆಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಈಸಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟೀಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೇರ್ ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ ಫೋನ್ಸ್. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟೀಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಆಪ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೊಸದೊಂದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇನೋವೇಷನ್ ಇದು RBI ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ರಿಟೇಲ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಆಪ್. ಹೋಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್, ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್. Next, fintech repository anta andaga, repository is a database, it is a list. a web-based database, repository means database, containing comprehensive data on Indian fintech firms, facilitating better understanding of the fintech landscape for regulatory purpose. So, ಇದೇನ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಫರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಅಥವಾ ಲೋನ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರದ್ದು ಡೇಟಾ ಬೇಸ್ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಫಿನ್ಟೆಕ್ ರೆಪಾಸಿಟರಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ 3 initiatives recently launched. So one is regarding regulatory approvals, the other one is regarding easy government securities, how to invest easily in the government securities through our smartphones. Third one is a database which gives a complete comprehensive detail about all the companies. Okay. Any questions? Somebody had a question. I hope it is clear. You asked me that G-Secs are issued only by the central government. State government to issue madutte, bonds matra issue madutte. Central government are the treasury bills mattu bonds. State government bonds, and it is also called as state development loans. Keep this in mind. Hope it is clear. The title go. Okay. Anyway, some error. Anyway, the next topic is small topic, governance related anta tagonbodu. DD Kisan deploys 2 AI anchors. DD Kisan is a channel we all know that. What do you call, for the farmers, alba DD channel, Doordarshan. So recently DD Kisan ge 2 AI anchors na, artificial intelligence anchors na allot madide. Adar hesaru AI Krish and AI Bhumi anta. AI Krish and AI Bhumi are the 2 artificial intelligence anchors which can speak, where they can speak 50 Indian and foreign languages. It on factual basic topic ashtond tale ketskolo avashyakate illa, but awareness irli anta ashte. Okay. So DD Kisan, India's government TV channel, introduces 2 AI anchors, AI Krish mattu AI Bhumi, are first in the country. First time it has introduced like this. Anchors are artificial intelligence. So these AI anchors, mostly DD Kisan channel yaar nodtare, farmers nodtare alva, farmers related athwa who is interested in agriculture, to know about the basic details about the government schemes agirbodu athwa various agricultural techniques agirbodu adra ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ. So these AI anchors serve as information hubs for farmers, delivering updates on agricultural research, market trends, weather forecast, and government schemes. What usually the channel does, the same thing. The speciality is anchors are no longer human beings, it is robo or AI. Capable of communicating 50 languages, they provide news coverage around the clock, year around. So illenagide antandre, instead of employing human anchors here, they have made sure that AI is being brought, and it is first time in India for a TV channel. The initiative targets agricultural and rural communities, aiming for education and holistic development, normal thing. And DD Kisan launched on May 26, 2015, long back. The channel ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, which is Doordarshan's flagship channel, dedicated to agriculture, promoting balanced farming and rural life. Simple, basic awareness. Okay. So DD ಯಾವ್ದು ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. ಎಲ್ಲ Doordarshan. I think last classes also we had discussed regarding the logo of DD, Doordarshan, alva, evolution of the DD. There was some controversy regarding the logo that has been changed. Adra bagge ittu. But today we are talking about DD Kisan, farming channel and agriculture related channel, which is having 2 artificial intelligence anchors. Okay, so this is regarding this topic. So next we are going to the next topic. We will take a break for 5 minutes. Then we will come back. Okay, we are moving on to science and tech. The remaining topics will continue after the 5 minutes break. let's resume. Yes. So next topic is Zero Debris Charter. Okay. So recently it was in news that 12 countries signed the Zero Debris Charter. First of all, we should understand this is related to space. Okay, a sign or an agreement. Sorry, an agreement is being signed among few countries, 12 nations, pledging their long-term commitment for removing or addressing the issue of space debris. It is related to space. So debris andre trash, kasa. So let's look into the highlights of the news, then we will get to the key points of it. Recently, 12 nations pledged their commitment to long-term space sustainability by signing the Zero Debris Charter at the ESA EU Space Council. We are talking about European Space Agency. It is not by NASA. It is under ESA, European Space Agency. So unveiled at the ESA Space Summit in Seville in November 2023, this charter is an initiative of the ESA. That is what you have to remember. We are so inclined to read everything in NASA space related first to NASA. So 2-3 sentences, 2-3 options, one of the options NASA we might overlook because of anxiety or panicking and all that. Certain factual words are very, very important. You have to concentrate on that. Remember, it is ESA. Following encouragement from ESA member states, the agency initiated a zero debris approach for its mission, urging partners and stakeholders to adopt similar strategies. Concept tumba simple ide. Adashtu space alli agutiruvanta debris ಅಥವಾ waste ಏನು accumulate ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸಸ್ಟೈನೇಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಟ್ಯಾಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 12 nations have come together. European nations possibly. So let's look into the key points who are part of it, or maybe European nations only part of it, and what are its objectives. This is just a brief wherein it is old data but yet related. 2022 prakara space alli iruvanta junk but debris waste. When we speak of waste, we are talking about the satellite waste, the rockets waste, when it dismantles, when it disentangles or distangles from the main engine or the space. I mean, in the from the rocket, what happens is it circulate or keeps orbiting around certain planets or in certain places, or maybe in the low Earth orbit, or in the geo or LEO, the orbits what we have. So this will again damage the already operating satellites. That is the trouble here. So not only we have put up enough waste on the Earth, also on space. So according to certain report by NASA in 2022, it is updated up to 2022, who has the highest number of or largest huge pieces of debris, number of spent rocket bodies and other pieces of debris in the Nordaga. Russia, USA, China, France, Japan, even India also have part in it. So top positions only, top 10 or top 8 positions, India is also responsible. But in this mission, ESA India has no role to play. Adu sambandha pattilla, ESA has not contributed anything to it. This is related to European Space Agency. In and around European nations have joined here. Nothing to do with India. But we are looking at this image to understand India is also responsible for the space debris, because one thing, it is a proud, one way it is proud thing to say, wherein they are part of this space race, so-called space race, along with the catching up the pace with other developed nations like Russia, USA, China, France, anta nodaga. But we are also in the list wherein we are also responsible for space junk. Okay, so years back, NASA also had sent a mission called as Remove Debris. It's a space mission wherein to remove the excess debris in the space. But today it is a serious concern that would affect the already operating satellites or rockets over there. So we will see some of the key points regarding it. Just adar bagge idea idre saaku, but we are just going through it. The Zero Debris Charter unites global space actors to eliminate debris by 2030, ensuring space sustainability. It establishes guiding principles and technical targets for a comprehensive roadmap. Innu implement madilla, just it is a charter. Charter anta andre ಒಂದು framework ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Although non-legally binding, it fosters a proactive community committed to joint targets. Targets include maintaining low debris generation, probability, and achieving high success rates for disposal. Transparency and coordination are encouraged for enhanced space safety. ESA will focus on innovative technologies for disposal, servicing, and debris removal. Collaboration with regulatory institutions will ensure effective implementation. So, awareness about the topic is required here. What is the position of India when it comes to space junk, or if at all you can relate any, or if you can recollect any India's mission yavadar idea space junk na remove madakke athwa yavadar initiatives tagondidya anta nodi. I think it was not in news from very long time. Space junk anno bagge idlilla, so recent agi bandide, and especially it is happening somewhere in Europe. India ge direct agi sambandha pattidalla, but we have in your mains paper you have India's space related achievements. ISRO anno baggene one topic ide. So maybe in mains it can be asked. Some awareness if you have, you can somewhere you can relate or write some point regarding it anta nanu add madidini ashte. Okay, so prelims ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು Zero Debris Charter ಯಾರು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ESA, not NASA, not ISRO, not anybody. It is European Space Agency ಅಂತ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. Okay, so small topic, very factual topic. Now we can speak about one more recent study that was made. Caterpillar sensitivity to electrical signals. This article was on Hindu. So there is a study that says caterpillars may sense threats using electric fields. So recent research has uncovered that caterpillars possess the ability to sense electric fields around them using small bristles called setae on their bodies, a phenomenon known as electroreception. So the focus is on the term, the technical term, electroreception. Recent agi ಒಂದು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾಟರ್ಪಿಲ್ಲರ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಪ್ರೆಡೇಟರ್ ಯಾರು ಅಥವಾ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಲಾರ್ಜರ್ ಇನ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, when they come and predate upon them, the caterpillars have the ability to sense using their small bristles, the hair-like structure on their skin or their body, wherein they can understand the electroreception. Andre ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. They are not giving out the stinging or they are not giving out the electrical signals. They are sensitive to electrical signals. Don't get confused. Reception antandre they can receive the electrical signals coming from the external part, so that they can act accordingly. Maybe they can camouflage, right, hide, or they may some can actually sting. So some can hide away, some can move. So all these mechanisms they can actually try to make. So they are improved. Their defensive mechanism have improved because of this electrical signals athwa electroreception anta ಒಂದು study ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. Why have we taken caterpillars exclusively? ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ UPSC is more concerned lately regarding insects, butterflies, wasps, moth we see throughout the year. So ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ electroreception is related to which of the following organisms, which can be seen in which of the following organisms. This can be asked because we see in the past few years the behavioral aspect, very unique feature of an organism is been asked. So the diet agirbodu or the active hours agirbodu, or the specific quality of an organism can be asked. That is the reason we have taken up this. Okay, so while traditionally associated with aquatic and amphibious species, andre usually electroreception caterpillars are matra alla. We can see this in aquatic organisms. Some fishes can sense their predators, as well as amphibians can sense this signals. This sensory adaptation has been identified in terrestrial insects also. Caterpillars utilize electroreception to detect approaching predators, particularly by sensing oscillating electric fields produced by insects such as wasps' flapping wings. ಈಗ caterpillar ನ ತಿನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುವಂತ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹುಳ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ birds ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, they keep on flapping their wings. So if flapping wings, when they flap or when they fly like this, because of the charge that produced in and around the aura that is produced, it will immediately give a sense or a signal to the caterpillar to defend itself. A defensive mechanism for the caterpillar. So we'll understand it better in the key points here. So this is how it works like this. You can see before it reaches the predator, the prey, they can sense. So allows detection of the predators through oscillating electric fields from the insect wings, developed to counteract intense predation, enhancing existing sensory defenses. Electromagnetic frequencies from power cables may interfere with this detection mechanism, threatening caterpillar survival. First 2 points ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ caterpillar ಗೆ mechanism ಇದೆ. Okay, we need caterpillars because it transforms into it is just a stage in the metamorphosis. So we have the stage larva, pupa, caterpillar, butterfly. Even for moths also, it has to take a transformation from the caterpillar to then moth. So both are equally important. Butterflies and moths are equally important because these are pollinators in nature. So if caterpillars are affected, pollination will be affected. So naturally predation idre, it is fine. It is order of the nature. But the third point is more concerning for us. Third point is more concerning because electromagnetic frequencies from power cables may interfere with this detection mechanism, threatening caterpillar survival. So, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ caterpillars ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪವರ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಟರ್ಪಿಲ್ಲರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋ ರಿಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅದು ದೇ ಫಾಲ್ an easy prey to the predators. So it is because of the excess or the presence of the power cables, caterpillars are falling prey. They are losing their electroreception powers, and eventually their numbers are declining. If their numbers are declining, pollinators are declining, and pollination will be affected. Ashtu connection ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Okay, steady ಯಾಕೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ okay, we are happy caterpillars electroreception ಇದೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೇನು ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ನಮಗೇನು ಲಾಭ ಅಥವಾ ನಷ್ಟ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Scientific study is understood, but what is its impact? That is the question. So what is the impact on the caterpillar's electroreception? Because we human beings, the extended power cables are affecting the electroreception, wherein they fall an easy prey to the predator and they die. They will lose their camouflage or defensive capability. That's the thing. So the technical word here is electroreception. These are also found in not only caterpillars, remember, only caterpillars, these are also found in amphibians and aquatic organisms. Remember this point. So that is what we have in this. There's a small article was there on this on Hindu, so I thought I will just bring it up. Then related to tribal use or environment again, this is actually related to FRA. You have to pay attention. FRA 2006, the act what we have discussed in the class. Okay, Forest Rights Act of 2006. Now, Odisha tribals await Forest Department not to sell kendu leaf worth ₹34 lakh. ಈ kendu leaf ಅಥವಾ tendu leaf ಅಂತಾನೆ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Have you heard of it anywhere? What are tendu leaves? Tendu leaves are used for rolling BDs. Okay, we will see that. First, we will look into the news and then we will see the concern. Tribal people in Odisha are facing challenges in obtaining approvals from the Forest Department to sell kendu leaves, which are classified as minor forest produce. It is also called as NTFP, non-timber forest produce. So minor forest produce andre enu? The materials or the raw materials that are sourced from the tribal people in the forest, right, which are non-timber. Non-timber antandre timber and non-timber. Timber means cutting of trees. The resources that we, raw materials that we acquire directly by cutting of trees is timber, logs. Non-timber means the products of the plant origin. Okay, one of the examples of MFP is tendu leaves or kendu leaves. Adana Uttar Pradeshali ಅಥವಾ ಒಡಿಶಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹೆಸರು ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Here it is called as kendu. Usually it is called as tendu leaves also, TEND. So what is MFP? Minor forest produce. The natural resources that the tribal people collect, which is a non-timber source. So the tribals live in areas without forest department collection points. Andre, ಯಾಕೆ ನಮ್ಗಿಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ 34 lakh worth Kendu leaves inu sell madakagilla anta andre, first of all, they have rights under FRA, something called as community forest rights anta ide. CFR, community forest rights. That means individual rights wherein this community can actually source out natural materials from the forest and they can sell. Adre sell madokinta munche government rules prakara, FRA prakara, they cannot sell it to somebody else. Adu illegal agutte. When they collect materials from the forest, they have to go through the government itself. Hege namage MFP ide, sorry, MSP ide, food crops ge alva, 23 crops ge minimum support price ide. Ade riti MSP, MFP gu ide, ee products gu ide. So they fix a price for it. Government will fix a price for the resources that they get from the forest. MSP for MFP anta scheme. MSP for MFP means for forest tribal people's produce also there is an MSP fixed, so that they are not cheated by, deceived by retailers, middlemen, agents. So rain collect ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ APMC ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇರೋ ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಟ್ರೈಫೆಡ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, Tribal Cooperative Society Federation ಅಂತ, ಟ್ರೈಫೆಡ್. It comes under Ministry of Tribal Affairs. ಈ ಟ್ರೈಫೆಡ್ ಒಂದು ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ತರ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ APMC ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ this will act as an agent of the government to sell these products to the market. So they have to get the return, proper return, good price, fair price ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. So they are waiting for forest department not to sell this. Either you take it or allows to sell. ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, it can be an offense, or it can be wasted, or they can be cheated. So they don't want to go through any other means. Okay. So the Gram Sabha took charge of Kendu leaf collection. Illa enaitu, the immediate authority for tribal people in the forest is Gram Sabha. Even in FRA also, Forest Rights Act allo defines there are three hierarchical structure. That is, one is it starts from Gram Sabha, then this zonal level, taluk level, and district level. So yene ondu grievances idru, people will approach to Gram Sabha. Okay. So Gram Sabha illa enagide Odishadalli, Gram Sabha has taken care of Kendu leaf collection. Members, especially single women and widows, rely on non-timber forest products for their livelihood. Ee jagadalli Odishadalli. So what are Kendu leaves basically? Kendu leaves used to make hand-rolled beedis, popular in India, which are crucial livelihood source for many, especially tribal communities. So beedi suttakke, beedi kattakke ಈ ಎಲೆನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಟೆಂಡು ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇದು ಕಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಸಹಾಯನೂ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ನ್ಯೂಸ್, ಇದು ಇಶ್ಯೂ. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಕೀ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಹಿಯರ್? ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು the FRA defines minor forest produce as, actual topic is MFP here. Okay, the focus is on what is MFP ಬಗ್ಗೆ focus ಇಲ್ಲಿ, or NTFP ಅಂತಾನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? So the definition goes like this: non timber forest products of plant origin, plant ಇಂದ origin ಆಗಿರುವಂತ items such as bamboo, cane, ತುಸಾರ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ತುಸಾರ್ ಸ್ಯಾರಿ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, cocoons, honey, wax, lac, kendu leaves, medicinal plants, herbs, roots and tubers ಗೆಡ್ಡೆಗೆಣಸು ಅಂತ ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಗಮ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಿಸ್, ಗಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೇಸಿನ್ಸ್, ಗಮ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಮರದಿಂದ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಟು ಡು ನಾಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ NTFP. ಇದು ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟೇ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ. ಗಮ್, ರೇಸಿನ್ಸ್, ಡೈಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ, ಡೈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಒರಿಜಿನ್ ಇಂದ, this will not be part of NTFP or MFP. This is part of government. It is timber produce ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, because it has highly expensive, it has high economic returns. So ಅದು ಮೈನರ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಮೇಜರ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಗಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೇಸಿನ್ಸ್ that oozes out from the trees, various trees, just to keep in mind, because ಒಂದು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ NTF ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಯಾವ್ದು ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಒಂದ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಗಮ್, ರೇಸಿನ್ಸ್, ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಡೈಸ್ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಬಿಡೋದಲ್ಲ. ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಲೌಡ್, ಬಟ್ ಗಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಲೌಡ್. ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನಾಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೇಸಿನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ Odisha ranks as the third largest producer of Kendu leaves, following Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Madhya Pradesh is the largest, then we have Chhattisgarh, then Odisha. So these are the leaves, what you can see. So Major other leaf producing states are Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, Gujarat, and Maharashtra. ಈ ಜಾಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಿರುತ್ತೆ. But if at all they do not have these collection points, if Gram Sabhas are not aiding them, if government is also not taking any responsibility, so 34 lakh worth tendu leaves are still pending. ಇದರಿಂದ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ನಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? They go collect in the forest, they keep it ready. So if it is pending, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಡಿಲೇ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Freshness of the leaves will be lost. They do not have any cold storage facilities as such to store it. So their hard work will go in vain. That is the trouble here. So Down to Earth magazine has thrown some light on this issue so that the Gram Sabhas or the forest department would take necessary actions to help these tribal people. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಟೇಕ್ ಅವೇ ಏನು? Just to go and revise FRA 2006. Then the rights of the people under this community rights ಇದೆ, title rights ಇದೆ, land rights ಇದೆ, management rights ಇದೆ, types of rights ನಾವು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. That is your static part. And anything news related to tribes ಏನಾರು ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Okay, just an awareness how we relate FRA to this topic and what are tendu leaves, what is its importance, and what is NTFP, MFP ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು. I've already told you there is MSP for MFP. ಅದು ಇದೆ. ಯಾರು ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? MOEFCC ಅಲ್ಲ, ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. And there is a cooperative organization that is TriFed ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. TriFed. Okay. So these are the takeaways from this news. Moving on, species in news. Himalayan serow was recently in news. So without putting the picture, if I immediately say Himalayan serow ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಏನ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So if they ask in the exam, should try to recollect. That's why we have to see pictures of the animals seen in news. So Himalayan serow was recently spotted in the central area of Nameri National Park and Tiger Reserve. So ಎರಡು ವಿಷಯ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವತ್ತಾದ್ರೂ ಸ್ಪೀಶೀಸ್ ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಪೀಶೀಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಕಲ್ತಂಗಾಯ್ತು ನಮ್ಗೆ. ಈ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? So this is a herbivore. You can see it is a combination of too many animals. Its ears are like dogs, body is like cattle. So it has a combination. Let's see what is it. So the herbivore is usually found in the hilly tracts of Himalayas and foothills of the forest. Himalayas foothills of the forest. It was spotted during camera trapping exercise. Recently, camera trapping madidru Nameri alli. Anybody can tell me where is Nameri? If at all you know, we will see that anyway. Okay. So recently it was spotted. That is the news. Let's see the details about this. Yes, Assam. Details about this animal plus details about the national park or the tiger reserve. Both are in the same place. So this is how the animal look like. So it resembles a mix between serow. The word is serow. Mix between a goat, a donkey, cow, and pig. Various features of the body resembles a mixture of all these animals. There are various species of serows all over Asia. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ Himalayan region ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ Himalayan serow ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And the scientific name doesn't matter for the animal. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ plants ಗೆ ಮತ್ತು microorganisms till now, till date scientific names ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ animals ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಒಂದು brackets ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ as far as I have seen the question paper. So don't worry about it, but for the sake of it I have put. So it is like a goat. It is actually a goat, a herbivore. Okay, but it is restricted to Himalayan serow is restricted to Himalayan region alone. Nowhere it is found. Okay, ಯಾವ Himalayan region ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಈಗ ನಾವು. Diet is herbivores, obviously grazing animal. Found at the altitudes of 2000 to 4000 meters in the eastern Himalaya, central Himalaya, western Himalaya. ಅಂದ್ರೆ west to east ತನಕ ಅಥವಾ east to west ತನಕ ಈ Himalayan serow ಇದೆ. But ಎಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ trans Himalayan region ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. But not in the trans Himalayan region. That means trans Himalayan regions are part of Tibetan Himalayan region. A cold desert ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. Because it is understood again. Trans Himalayan region is across Himalayan region, which is where we have cold desert, higher altitude. And this animal requires, it is a grazing animal. So obviously that do not work. So rest of the places we can find the animal. So conservation status, it is vulnerable. Sites ಅಲ್ಲಿ appendix 1 and wildlife protection also schedule 1. Older one. Amendment alla older one ಅಲ್ಲಿ schedule 1 ಇದೆ. So vulnerable ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is still threatened categories. We know that IUCN ಕೆಳಗೆ 3 threatened categories ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ critically endangered, vulnerable. So it stands in vulnerable position here. That means it is still under threatened categories, but better than critically endangered and endangered. Okay, so this is the detail about the animal. Now we'll speak about the reserve, the protected area. The map is also given. You can spot the location here. So it is in the northern Sonitpur district, Assam, along the foothills of Arunachal Pradesh, almost border of Arunachal Pradesh. Nameri. Okay, you can see Nameri in Assam, northern part of Assam, which almost foothills of Arunachal Pradesh, southern part of Arunachal Pradesh. So yake Himalayan serow illi yak bantu Assam alli antandre, actually it is seen in Arunachal Pradesh, Himalayan region. But as part of this, it has been also seen here because of the food, grazing animal, so it is found here spotted. So it is a tiger reserve anta andaga, national park ide, alli tiger reserve ide, or tiger reserve is part of the national park anta helbodu. So Nameri National Park is the core of NTR. Core zone. Iga tiger reserves alli eradu zone barutte. Which are the two zones? Core and buffer. Tiger zone classification. So tiger zone core zone ella barutte antandre ee national park ge barutte anta helide ee sentence. Okay. Bounded by Jia Boreli River and Boro Dikorai River in the east. Simply for specification, not to take a chance, I have put up here. Pakke Tiger Reserve in Arunachal Pradesh is to the north and habitat is contiguous. So illi Pakke Tiger Reserve ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, direct ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Pakke Tiger Reserve is in which of the following states? Very popular tiger reserve of Arunachal Pradesh. So above this Nameri Tiger Reserve, we have Pakke Tiger Reserve in Arunachal Pradesh. So the ecosystem is tropical evergreen, semi-evergreen, moist deciduous forest. Include cane, breaks, and narrow strips of open grassland along rivers. Grassland ide, bamboo vegetation ide. So it is a semi-evergreen, tropical evergreen, semi-evergreen, moist deciduous forest mixture. Because it is Assam and Arunachal, so both we have. Then it is biologically rich habitat, famous for white-winged wood duck. Remember, Nameri Tiger Reserve is known for white-winged wood duck. Other species, last week we discussed leopard cat, discuss madidvi alva. So leopard cat ಬಗ್ಗೆ discuss ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, Bengal ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ leopard cat. Common otter, black giant squirrel, Indian mongoose, large clawed shrew. Shrew is a small mammal. Okay. Indian flying fox, slow loris. Slow loris is a primate. South ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ slender loris ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ slow loris ಅಂತ. It is like a primate, like a monkey, but a large, with bulged eyes. Assam is macaque, monkey again, rhesus macaque. ನಮಗೆ ಬಾನೆಟ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸೌತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಮೆಕ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಟೆಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದು ರೆಸೂಸ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾಕ್. ನಾರ್ತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಸೂಸ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾಕ್, ಸೌತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾನೆಟ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಸೇಮ್ ನೋಡಕ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಸೌತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್. These are the fauna of Nameri. So Nameri is located in Assam, not in Arunachal Pradesh, but it is in the foothills of the Arunachal Pradesh. And Himalayan serow was spotted here because usually it is found in the foothills of the Himalayan region. As it is bordered, it has been spotted in the Assam, spotted in the region of Assam. So we go to the next one, mangroves. Mangroves ಬಗ್ಗೆ recent ಆಗಿ news ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. Mangroves, anyway, we know the basic details of mangroves. But in news ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ IUCN, we just spoke about it. IUCN has released a list called as, or a report called as Red List of Mangrove Ecosystem ಅಂತ ಒಂದು publish ಮಾಡಿದೆ report. Is an NGO, right? IUCN, International Union Conservation for Nature. It flags half of the world's mangroves at risk, urging urgent conservation action. So, this publication ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 50% of the world's mangrove is at risk. Especially ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ South India's mangrove is at risk, greater risk. Pollution, deforestation, coastal development put mangrove ecosystem at high risk of collapse. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು ಕೆಳಗೆ ಸೌತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಕೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗ್ರೋವ್ಸ್, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಗುಜರಾತ್ ಟು ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಗಾಲ್ ತನಕ the entire coastal region of India is dotted through mangroves from Gujarat to West Bengal. So South India anta bandaga we can speak about Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, illi tanka. So ishtu jaga, ಅಥವಾ at least till Andhra Pradesh, we have prominent mangrove vegetation. So this is at a higher risk anta helidare. So rising sea levels and severe storms intensify vulnerability, posing further danger to coastal areas. Vital natural barriers against why mangrove matters. Yake namge concern ide antandre, we know that they are a barrier against tsunamis, erosion, floods, and also mangroves are called as foundational species. Mangrove na ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, foundational species ಅಥವಾ foundation species ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕೆ foundation species ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? What is foundation? It is a base. So the species of the organisms which act as a base by strengthening the entire ecosystem, they are called as foundation species. So mangroves are an example of foundation, and corals are also one more example of foundation species. Remember this, okay? So key points or takeaway from this here is a global mangrove assessment in the ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ key takeaways ಇದೆ ಅಂತ I'll just read out for you this little smaller font. Alarming findings revealed for the very first time. Half of the assessed global mangrove system is at risk. Lengthy sentence kottidru, I have just made it very short. Nearly 20% classified as high risk. High risk alide, so mangroves will, once mangroves are devastated or destroyed, we know how vulnerable coastal ecosystem would be. What are the major threats? Same thing: climate change, deforestation, development, pollution, dam construction, etc. So 1/3 of the assessed mangrove are jeopardized or they are in danger. Predicted sea level rise to submerge 25% of the global mangrove area in 50 years. ಈ climate change ಇಂದ sea level rise ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕಾಲ್ ಭಾಗದಷ್ಟು global mangrove in another 50 years complete ಆಗಿ submerge ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ IUCN. ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ without any intervention by 2050, loss of 1.8 billion tons of stored carbon, 2.1 million lives exposed to coastal flooding, because people, there are many people who live near the mangroves, which they are dependent on its leaves or bark or stem, medicinal aspects of grazing for prawn culture, aquaculture, etc. So their livelihood will be affected. Plus, mangroves can also be called as carbon sinks. They can store carbon. Alva? So 1.8 billion tons of carbon release agbodu mangroves illa anta andre, or loss of it. ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಯಾವ ಜಾಗದ ಯಾವ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಇಷ್ಟು ಜಾಗ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂಡಮಾನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೇ ಆಫ್ ಬೆಂಗಾಲ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ why we are using the same word, remember, least concern, critically endangered, vulnerable, ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ IUCN gives risk assessment details for animals and plants also. ಬರೀ animals ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, plants ಗೂ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಪ್ರಕಾರ Bay of Bengal and Andaman is least concern. That means abundant population, free from danger. South India is critically endangered. West India, only West India anta tagondaga vulnerable. South India possibly would be the Kerala, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. This region is more, okay, more vulnerable, because Tamil Nadu is also known for Kichavaram ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, Andhra Pradesh ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊರಿಂಗಾ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ, we have this in Uttara Kannada, we have mangrove vegetation, ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ, ಕೇರಳದಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ. So it has been under danger. So ನಮಗೊಂದು hint ಅಷ್ಟೇ, read more about mangroves. Anything about mangroves, it is important. Is ಕುಂದಾಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಹೊನ್ನಾವರ we have it. Yes. So moving on, regarding international relations ಅಂತ ತಗೊಬಹುದು, places in news ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. Papua New Guinea, recent agi Papua New Guinea had a major disaster of landslide. Okay, so namgu Papua New Guinea gu ಏನ್ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ, India has offered $1 million aid to disaster hit Papua New Guinea. Places in news ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡಿ, because it is an island on Pacific Ocean. We will see the location. First, we will see what is the relation between India and this Papua New Guinea, which is on the Pacific Ocean. So in a gesture of solidarity, India has promptly offered $1 million in aid to Papua New Guinea following the devastating floods and landslides. Recently, Papua New Guinea, a close ally of India and a fellow member of the Forum for India-Pacific Island Cooperation. So yake antandre, there is a corporation or an association called as FIPIC, where India is part of it, Papua New Guinea is also part of it. So ಎರಡು ಒಂದೇ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಸೇರಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಆ ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಈ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ. Okay, has received this support during its challenging times. FIPIC, initiated in 2014, aims to enhance. It was initiated long back. It is not the new association. Enhance India's connection with 14 Pacific island countries situated northeast of Australia. So, ಇಷ್ಟು basic details. ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫ್ಲಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ India has given its aid. And why? Because India is part of an association along with Papua New Guinea, and also it started in 2014, where it includes 14 Pacific island countries. So we will see which are the countries and what is this FIPIC. Two countries. I have mentioned on the screen also, I mean, map also with the flags also. So these are the countries. But namge enu matter agutte, India idralli idya ilva anta. One might think somewhere in Pacific Ocean, India ge en sambandha. It has better relations with Australia, and this region matters for India because of the presence of the China in future, right? So, and moreover, Indian Ocean Pacific Ocean associations ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಮನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ India is there. India has participated there. So you can see Papua New Guinea as well as India, and there are other countries also. Most of the countries, idella islands, Solomon Island, Tonga, Tuvalu, Republic of Nauru, Micronesia, right? Republic of Palau, Fiji Island, very popular, Cook Island. So, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, symbol ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, we can see the British dominance, especially these two, not this one, these two. So here also, Cook Island, Fiji Island, Tuvalu Island is under the administration of UK, British. Even illinu ashte monarchy ide, parliament ide, monarchy nu ide. So president, constitution, I mean, sorry, the government is there, but it is monitored by the queen or monitored by the king whatsoever. So jaga, Papua New Guinea is known for various tribes. It is known for its biodiversity. It is known for its tourism, and also known for the brunt that is being taken because of the climate change. So let's look into its features, basic details about this country. Just locate madake yakantandre questions can be asked. Which of the following islands are found on the Pacific Ocean, or which are part of the Pacific Ocean? Least type, basic. Some are very prominent. Cook Island, idella ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಾ. Cook Island, Fiji Island, Kiribati is one more. Okay, so these are the smaller island nations bearing the brunt of climate change. That's why this association is made. So we will see this is a location of Papua New Guinea. You can see India's location, Indonesia we have, then we have Australia down south, then we have Papua New Guinea. And moreover, one more important thing you have to notice here is, this is the equator line. Equator just passes above Papua New Guinea, cuts across Indonesia here. The equator line. Okay, the pass madalla anta tilkondiri anta, just geographically we are looking into it. So Papua New Guinea, situated in the southwestern Pacific Ocean, encompasses the eastern segment of the New Guinea island. The western portion of the island falls within the Indonesian provinces. You can see here this, we have Indonesia and the West Papua. Indonesia to the west, Australia to the south, and Solomon Islands to the southeast. Prominent places yaudella ide antandre, ee kade Indonesia, kelige Australia, ee kade Solomon Islands. Ishtu on location. Ee jaga ellide antandre at least one idea irbeku. Whatever it is in news. Why are we focusing on this? Because India gave this donation or aid for this devastation in Papua New Guinea. So this is what we have in places in news. So the takeaway should be, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಯಾವ್ದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ್ದು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಯು ಮೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲರ್ನ್ various other topics also. You might have come across very popular topics also. I don't deny that they are not important, but what is possible, in what way we can relate to the exam, we have discussed in today's session. Okay, so this is what we have for today's class. We'll meet in the next class. We will remind about the notes to the management, and you also do so. So any questions if you have, you can ask, or we can wind up for today. Anything? Okay. So we'll see in the next class next week. Thank you so much. for responding and keep revising things. Okay. Take care.